Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. I've got my tea. I've got my ring light. I'm about to change my wax in my office. Haven't got a clue what to put on in here. Although super excited to warm something cozy because it is miserable out there today and the dog is now telling me he wants to go out. Sod's law. Good morning, guys. I am back on WhatsApp. I don't know how long for. It might be a day or two, or I might be back. Who knows? I'm getting a little bit like fed up of bloody WhatsApp. I'm not gonna lie, but bear with me. I'm just gonna open up Send Squad so I can see if any of you are free. I don't think anybody's on. Okay, happy Friday. I will hang fire. I am here. If anybody joins, if not, I'm just going to talk and hopefully you guys can catch this up. I have been trying really consciously to not go live in here too many times this week so that I'm not overwhelming you with like content and ideas. Good morning, Claire. Oh, the sun is shining there. We are grey. It's very, very grey here. It's miserable, but do you know what? I'm in my happy place. I've come into my office, my like happy zone. I've put a very comfy tracksuit on and I am ready to get down and work today. So let's talk about as we go into payday week. But before we do that, I want to talk about something. Hey Marie, hope you like your shout out this morning on Holly's call. If you haven't watched it back, guys, it's on the All Consultant group. I will share it a bit later on today. So I basically had a call last night with Callie Levi and Melissa Gratz. In particular, I spoke to Callie for about an hour on the phone last night prior to having this call. And if you don't know who Callie is, hey Emily, morning hun. Callie is our upline. Basically, Callie and her mum joined Scentsy. Her mum joined Scentsy right at the very beginning. She was like in the first probably 10 people that joined. And you probably, if you ever have done like over 500 PRV or you get really high PRV, you will sometimes get an email from Group Make It Happen or from Callie and Becca. So if you know you've had an email, you know who I mean. And I had the pleasure of having a real good chat with Callie last night. And we were talking about finding new customers and how to find new customers and things that we're doing to step outside of our comfort zones. And I actually said to Callie, I'll be completely honest, Callie, I feel like we are in this world at the minute where we're just happy to stay at home at any given opportunity. And we've got very, very comfortable with not going and doing things. And do you know what? She coached me and it was really interesting. And she said to me, and I'm going to just ask you these questions myself. So she said to me, Lisa, if you just take Scentsy away for a minute, right? And you had all the free time in the world, she said, what would you do with your time right now? And I was like, okay. I said, I would definitely want to be shopping a lot more. But she said, what if you couldn't afford to shop? She said, like, what would you do? And I said, I would probably spend more time in the gym. I would probably spend more time like doing Pilates classes and reformer classes. I would probably go up to London and do some fitness classes, like try the bungee yoga and, you know, things like that. I said things like that really, like, I just never seem to find the time to do them. They're like things that I want to do. And she said to me, okay. And she said, and why don't you do that? And I said, sometimes it's time. Sometimes it comes down to money. And she said, but what if you actually made time to go and do one of those things that you really want to do, whether it be like join a club or go to a women's club or go to join a local book club or a networking meeting or just go into a class once a week and doing something where you're around people. And I was like, very true. And she said, just think of all the new people that you could meet if you actually said, I am going to prioritize doing something that's for me, that I want to do once a month. She said, imagine all the new people you could meet and you could give out samples to and you could talk to about Scentsy. And I was like, do you know what? I think I've even fallen into this trap of being very like happy at home. Right? And how many of you guys are like, do you know what? This could be me. Like, I feel like I've kind of fallen into this circle. And then we sit here and we work our Scentsy business at home in the times that we've got. And we don't really do a lot for ourselves. And I was like, do you know what? She said, you need to, and this was really interesting. She said, would doing these things, like going to these classes, going to do Pilates, for example, she said, would that bring you joy? And I said, absolutely. I said, when I go to the gym every day, it brings me joy. She said, and then if you could connect that with Scentsy, she said, you go and do something that brings you joy and meet new people. She said, imagine how you would feel about finding new customers in your Scentsy business. And I was like, huh. And I said to Laura after, I was like, I wasn't expecting to be coached on this call. Like, I was just expecting we were just having a chat. We've got some like plans that we're doing, some things that are coming, which are really exciting. I'm really excited about. And she said to me, why are you not doing this? And I was like, I think I spend so much time saying to myself, I've got to work, I've got to work, I've got to work. And I'm thinking about work being sitting at my phone, sitting at my desk, making samples, you know, getting a borrow bag booked out, delivering my deliveries, that actually we forget to do the joyful things in life, which means that we can marry that with Scentsy. Because when you start to feel more joy in other things that you do, right, then suddenly you feel like, oh my gosh, like I can talk about Scentsy now because I'm feeling joy, I'm feeling at peace, I'm feeling in a really good place. So I was like absolutely like in awe of the conversation. And I'm going to ask you the same question. I really want to ask you, I know money can be a problem for some of you, for some of the things that you want to do. Some of you are going to say to me, Lisa, I want to go on holiday every month. Okay, so do I. But we have to think smaller than that to start with. We have to think about what's something that you could do that would absolutely bring you joy. Take your mind off of finding new customers, not having enough PRV, going to do something. So I'm going to use Nicola Wilson as an example here. I don't know whether she's watching, but I know that for a long time I kept saying to Nick, you need to go and do an exercise class. And me and Georgie tried to talk her into CrossFit and all sorts. And she was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Anyway, Kylie Parks managed to talk Nick into going to a bounce class. And she started going, and I don't know necessarily whether it connected her with new customers, but what I do know is it connected her with Carly, who's also a Scentsy consultant, Scentsy director. It brought them a friendship that's closer together. It makes, and Nick enjoys doing it, and it brings her joy. Okay, so therefore, there is joy connected to Scentsy in some way, shape or form. It's a little bit like when we do meetups sometimes, and we do like coffee meets and, you know, all of those things. So, bit of a food for thought for you. I want you to think about something that would bring you joy. Is it joining a book club? Is it a knitting club? Is it going to a WI group? Is it maybe going to a networking group? Yes, these things sometimes are scary. Is it going to find that Pilates class that you've been wanting to try for bloody ages? You know, what does that look like to you? Tell me in the comments what that joyful thing would look like to you. And then I want you to also tell me how maybe once you get going and doing this thing, how do you think it could impact your Scentsy business? Doing this joyful thing, what do you think it could do for your Scentsy business? Because I think we've got into a rut of like what sometimes we think about, like, I want all these things to happen in my business, but we forget that what the joy is. And I know that there is joy in speaking to customers. I know there is joy in doing your deliveries. I know there is joy in working your Scentsy business. And for some of you, you're like, Lisa, I just want to work my Scentsy business. I just want more time to do it because it makes me happy. Which, if that is the thing, amazing. Like, go do that thing. Go do that. Try and find that time. However, if you are somebody with a lot of time on your hands, or maybe you're struggling to find new customers, or maybe you're struggling to find your joy in this at this present moment in your life, I am going to set you the task to almost put your tools down and go and find something that brings you joy, and then work out how you can marry Scentsy into that. You know, if I go and do a Pilates class, could I marry Scentsy into that by taking samples along after I've been a couple of weeks and I feel like I'm getting to know people? Could I marry Scentsy? You know, when me, Laura and Georgie go to the gym, we marry Scentsy into, actually, they've kind of worked out that Scentsy is us. It's been a real long game, but people are starting to order. Like, it's taken 2 years, been in that gym for 2 years, slogging our little guts out, talking about Scentsy, not being Scentsy sick on people so that people feel like they've got to buy. Yes, we do talk about it, but not to a point of like everybody needs to buy Scentsy. And it kind of like has been a long game, but it brings me joy, and they call us Scentsy 1, 2 and 3, right? So what could you do? Claire, we have a line dancing club over here and I'm desperate to do it. I was a dancer till I was 16 and I always love it. Right, Claire, I'm setting you the challenge. In February, you are going to go, if you don't do it before then. You are going to tell me when you're going, and I want to hear all about it. I want you to take a picture. I want you to share it in here and be like, this is what I do. I don't know if my cousin's watching, but my cousin also, she said to me, yeah, I am in the right place. I was like, oh, am I in the right place? My cousin said to me, she goes along to Zumba, and my cousin Vicky, if she's watching, she goes along to Zumba, and she said, I've been going to Zumba for ages. She's like, I love going to Zumba. But she said, do you know what? She said, once I've been for a period of time, she said, then I started telling people about Scentsy. She was like, because like, and she said, that helped me. She said, and they started ordering, and I gradually took my borrow bag in, and then, you know, it's the same thing. So I want you to think about what could bring you joy right now. And I want you to challenge yourself to be like, I'm going to go and do that. So Serena, you said so true. You need to do this. What are you going to do? What is in that? What's in your like heart's desire to go and do? Like, what is your thing? Is it painting? Is it going to a pottery class? Is it, you know, is it just being around people? Is it joining a walking club? My mum goes like walking every week, and her and a few friends go walking. And I'm like, I must give you some Scentsy to give them. So how can we bring joy? Now, as we go into payday week, it's like we're starting to get to that point now. What is the date today? The 24th or 23rd? So as in the next week, people are starting to get paid, right? It's been a long old month. Hands up if it's been a long month for you. It's been a long month. And when people start to get paid, they want to spend their money. They want to treat. Like, they have been waiting. Like, if people are like me, I spent all my money in December on everybody else, didn't buy myself anything. Maybe a few things, but I didn't buy myself anything major. And then after Christmas hit, and we were like, haven't got no money, definitely can't, we're going to struggle in January. So we were like, can't spend too much money. So we've been conserving. My husband got paid Tuesday, and we're now back to normal payment schedule. He gets paid weekly. My money all went very quickly this month, expected, because December was tight, right? But Emily, I know you're a teacher, so for you, Emily, I bet you're like, come on, like, get paid. Is payday for you today, or is it like next week? But if payday is a wait, it means that your customers are going to be feeling the same stress that you feel, right? So I want you to think about this. I want you to be like, right, okay, it's payday. What can we do? What can you do to show people? Payday special, payday bonanza. I think I see Katie Lawley's doing like a payday stock sale in our WhatsApp group. Could you do a payday mystery bag? What can we do? 20th of December, I got paid. Clinging on for Monday. I am clinging on with you, girl. And I will be doing a little celebratory dance, like, enjoy your payday, all the teachers in the land. It has been a long week and a long month. Absolutely, Serena. Serena, also, I love working from home, but I'm missing so many opportunities by not going into the office. Absolutely, Louise. My manager keeps getting on at me, getting in contact with our main reception for the building and ask if I can have a regular table for my Scentsy. We also have our own restaurant pub with our office, so I could have a table there. So many opportunities, but I don't pursue them. Right, Louise, I'm setting you a challenge to pursue them. Maybe just once a month to pop into that office and go and see people. Get out of your beautiful home and go see some of your peoples, because honestly, that will bring you joy. Just being around people. That's what we do, right? This is what we do. And then we can give people the gift of Scentsy. It's just incredible. Yeah, some people it's been 6 weeks, Claire. It's been a long, long time. So what can you do? This is the time to step it up, guys. If we're going to step it up ever, Holly has got an amazing Let's Get Active challenge going on right now in your consultant group. So if you are not in there, you need to get yourself in there so you can shout yourself out. You can see the tips. It was like 25 PRV a day from the 20th. So if you are starting from today, you are going to be like you're going to have to like add on 75 PRV to the 25. So divide how many days you've got left. It's 25 PRV plus divide 75 by how many days you've got left. or you can just do 250 by how many days are left in the month. Don't confuse yourself like I just did. But I want you to really think about how you can get that active order between now and the end of the month, and payday is going to be the one. Your customers probably have been waiting. They've been looking all the things that you've been posting. They've been waiting for, you know, that beautiful Inspire collection. This is the time to start asking them. This is the time to do the follow up, guys. This is the time. I think the pandemic affected so many of us more than we realise. Home is safe. Absolutely, Claire. And do you know what? Outside is okay now, and it feels scary. It feels scary to like put yourself back into communities. But realistically, with what we do, we need to be around people. We need to be seeing people, because it becomes really, really hard to just work this business online. However much I'm a huge advocate for let's all be at home, there is a part of me that is thinking about going back and doing some supply teaching to get back into the workplace. 1, to dip my toe back into teaching. 2, because I could do with a little bit of extra money in my pocket. But 3, more than ever, it's so to get some like conversations going and start talking to people again. And I think it's really important for your own mental health, for your own like feels, for all of that jazz. So if that is impacting you, but maybe it's the opposite, and you are somebody that is like seeing a lot of people every day and you don't want to people anymore. And if that's the case, my question to you would be, how are you bringing Scentsy to those people? And if you're somebody that's like, I don't want to do anything else that's going to be around people, and if that is you, that's great, but how are you going to bring that? How are you going to bring that to those people? What are you going to do? So that's just food for thought for you. So all I am going to ask is anything you do between now and the end of the month, share it in here. If you challenge yourself, Serena, I think I see you said about doing some stretching and exercising. What about some yoga? I think yoga would be absolutely perfect for you. Why don't you find a local yoga class that you could go to and, you know, get yourself into something like that? And I think you will find new communities, new people, new friends, new people to connect with, and all with the intention of like, I am going to find some new teamies. I am going to grow my Scentsy business. I promise you, it is the way. You've got to find the joy, guys. You've got to find, because you will just become resentful towards what we do. You really will. So, with that being said, I'm going to love you and leave you. My pen says, I'm very busy and important, so piss off. Excuse my French. But I thought it was quite funny as I picked that up and was just reading it then. And I was like, I am going to go and be busy. Not so important, but I'm definitely going to go and be busy. My plan of action today is to do some follow-up. I got banned from WhatsApp yesterday. So if you haven't got 2-factor authentication on your WhatsApp, go do that. If you haven't backed up your WhatsApp in a while, go do that. And if you haven't got your customers anywhere else but WhatsApp, go get their numbers all on your workstation. And I have some recognition to come in here. I'm in the middle of watching the Thursday Night Shift, which is just phenomenal. I will share that today. And anything I do, I will share. Oh, these, by the way, are going to look the cutest. How cute are the little bags? So I'm going to fill them up with Scentsy today and take some photos. So I've got a list as long as my arm to do, as well as some vintage returns to do. And I will speak to you all soon. But happy Friday to you all, guys. You are all phenomenal. I am so grateful for the community that we've got in here. And I am so grateful for every single one of you. You literally lift me up more than you know. And yeah, let's go find the joy. Bye, guys.